I know how this story sounds. I've rewritten this post several times because every version makes me sound either paranoid or completely insane. I'm not asking for sympathy, and please don't comment that I should just call someone again. I did. I called so many times that the hold music started appearing in my dreams. I'm writing this because I think there's something I'm missing. Maybe someone here will notice something I didn't. Because clearly, I'm not the person who notices things. I should have realized something was wrong earlier. The first sign was just a fly. One single fly sitting on the edge of a glass of water I had just filled at my kitchen sink. The water was still cold. The glass was wet from the temperature difference, and the fly was just sitting there, rubbing its front legs together. It was right where my mouth was about to touch. I remember that moment better than I remember what I ate 2 days ago. I dumped the water immediately. I washed the glass. Then I grabbed a new one. Because once a glass has had a visitor like that, you don't really trust it anymore. At least, that's what I thought. The strange part was how calm the fly was. Usually, flies are annoying. They move randomly. They panic when you get close. They disappear the second you try to hit them. This one didn't. It just stayed there, watching. I filled another glass and left it on the counter. A minute later, there were 2 flies near the faucet. And that was when I should have realized something was wrong. They weren't flying around. They weren't searching for food. They looked like they were waiting. One of them kept moving under the edge of the faucet and coming back out. Again and again. Like it was checking something, like it was looking through a doorway. I told myself I was tired, that I was overthinking. That's what people do when something small feels wrong. They find an explanation, they convince themselves everything is normal. That afternoon, I submitted a maintenance request. That's what you're supposed to do. You pay rent. The building fixes problems. Simple. The request was, pest problem, flies in kitchen, cannot find source. It got assigned a number, but nobody came. At first, I wasn't too worried. I just didn't feel like eating. The night before, I had ordered pizza. The box was sitting on the counter, and the flies had completely taken over it. It looked like they owned it, like they had claimed it. I threw it away. Then I noticed something else. The smell. Not exactly rotten. Something different. Something sweet and heavy, like flowers left in old water for too long. The smell spread through the apartment. The rice cooker smelled strange. The coffee smelled burnt before I even made it. The fridge smelled the worst. I opened it and immediately felt sick. I emptied everything. Food, containers, everything. I threw it all away. By the second morning, there were more flies. A lot more. And this time they weren't trying to hide. They were sitting in lines along the kitchen counter, almost perfectly organized. A group of them gathered around the microwave handle like they were having some kind of meeting. I know how that sounds, but I swear that's what it looked like. I found 3 flies inside a mug I had personally washed, dried, and put away. Clean. Completely clean. One even walked across my phone screen while I was checking the apartment portal. The weird thing was that I watched it for a few seconds before removing it. Something about the way it moved made me hesitate. I checked my maintenance request. The status had changed. Pending access. Technician unable to confirm entry. I stared at the screen. I was home. I had been home the entire time. Nobody knocked, nobody called. Nobody even tried to enter. The walls in my apartment were thin, almost too thin. I could hear my neighbors walking. I could hear furniture moving. I could hear doors closing. There was no way someone knocked, and I missed it. So I left another message. I am available for entry. Please knock loudly. Then I sat on the couch waiting. I don't even remember falling asleep. One moment I was staring at the door. The next moment the room was darker. The sunlight outside had disappeared, and something was walking across my wrist. A fly. Right along the blue vein. I brushed it away immediately. But it came back. Same place. Same path. That was the first moment I felt something was seriously wrong, not because of the fly, because it felt intentional, like it wasn't just an insect anymore. By Wednesday, the smell wasn't just coming from the kitchen. It was everywhere. The whole apartment had that same heavy, sweet odor. I searched every room, behind the couch, inside every cabinet, under the sink, behind the toilet, everywhere. I found nothing. No dead animal, no mouse, no bird, nothing. Just dust, a lost earring, and a piece of pasta that looked old enough to belong in a museum. But the smell remained, and the flies followed me. Not all of them. Some stayed in the kitchen, but enough followed that I noticed. Whenever I moved to another room, they appeared there, like they were escorting me, like they knew where I was going. I submitted another request. This time I marked it urgent. Possible dead animal, strong odor, large increase in flies. I needed someone to come. Something was wrong inside my apartment. I knew it. The portal gave me an error. Duplicate request detected. I tried again. Same message. I called the emergency maintenance number. 6 rings, then voicemail. A calm voice told me my call was important, but nobody answered. I called again and again. Nothing. That night I knocked on my neighbor's door because I heard movement inside. Heavy movement, like someone dragging something across the floor. I knocked. No answer. I knocked again. The noise stopped. Completely. Not slowly, not naturally, just stopped. Like someone inside heard me and froze. I stood there for almost a minute. Then I walked back to my apartment. When I opened my door, I checked the portal again. A new message appeared. Resident unavailable for entry. I stared at the words. That was impossible. I was literally standing inside. I wrote back, I am here. A few seconds later, resident unavailable for entry. Again. That night, something landed on my face. I woke up instantly. A tiny movement near my eye. A small pressure on my skin. I jumped up and turned on the bathroom light. I looked terrible. I looked exhausted, like I hadn't slept in weeks. Then I noticed something. A mark on my cheek. A bruise. I touched it, but it didn't hurt. That should have scared me. But my brain kept making excuses. Bad lighting, stress, no sleep. Anything was easier than accepting something was wrong. Then I saw movement. Inside my nose. I froze. I stood over the sink, waiting for it to stop. But it didn't. Something moved again. And then, a fly came out. It crawled onto my upper lip. I couldn't move. I just stared at it. I finally brushed it away. It fell into the sink. For a few seconds, it just sat there, trembling. Then it started moving again. I grabbed my phone with shaking hands. I opened the maintenance portal and typed, Emergency. Health hazard. Something is wrong inside my apartment. The page loaded. Then the message appeared. This request has been closed. I refreshed. Same thing. I wrote again. I am here. Closed. I live here. Closed. Then the page changed by itself. A new sentence appeared. Occupancy status pending verification. That was the moment I checked my phone. I had missed messages. A lot of them. My mom. My co-workers. People asking if I was okay. Apparently, I hadn't shown up to work. For 2 days. That made no sense. I was home. The entire time. I called my mom. The phone rang. And rang. It never went to voicemail. Then it ended. I tried again. Same thing. I typed a message. I'm okay. Sorry. My phone is acting weird. I watched it send. Or I thought I did. When I checked again, the conversation was empty. The flies had started gathering above my couch. Not randomly. In one area. Like a dark stain with wings. I stared at them for hours. Part of me expected them to form a message, a warning, anything. But they didn't. They just watched. Tonight I heard voices in the hallway, heavy footsteps, a radio, someone talking. Then I heard my apartment number. My heart dropped. Someone outside my door said, "Police department, maintenance is with us. We're coming inside." I tried to answer. I really did. I opened my mouth. I wanted to scream, "I'm here! I've been here the whole time!" But nothing came out. Just a dry sound, a click in my throat. Then every fly in the apartment started flying at once. The bedroom door was closed. I don't remember closing it. I haven't gone inside for days. I don't even know why. The flies started coming from underneath the door, hundreds of them, maybe thousands, all forcing their way through the gap. The front door opened. Someone stepped inside. And I heard a voice. A scared voice, like someone had just discovered something horrible. The bedroom door opened, and everyone went silent. Then an officer said, "How long has she been here?" I didn't understand. Why was he asking that? I was standing right there. I had been there the whole time. I tried to explain everything, the requests, the calls, the messages, everything. But nobody looked at me. Nobody answered. Then I looked toward the bedroom, and I saw what they were looking at. A body on the floor. A body that looked exactly like me, and suddenly, everything made sense. The messages, the closed requests, the flies, the smell. I wasn't trapped inside the apartment. I wasn't waiting for help. I was waiting for someone to notice. And now I understand why nobody answered, why nobody came. Because maybe I was never the person still living there.